It is official. West Ham United have confirmed that David Moyes will leave West Ham United at the end of the season when his contract runs out. That is by mutual consent, and all of the reaction from me is coming next to that huge announcement. I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, it's a very good evening to you and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. It's a sentence that, to be honest with you, I've been hoping to say officially for quite a long time. Look, my initial reaction is thankfulness and relief in the same breath, if that's even possible. But I'm just relieved, to be totally honest with you, utterly relieved. It's such a difficult situation. It is. It's so complex the way we've had to handle this, and look, I'll always be thankful to David Moyes. I'll always have a special place in my heart for this incredible 3 years of European football and that best night of my life in Prague, lifting that Europa Conference League title. Those are memories that will never be erased from my memory, and they shouldn't be erased from any living West Ham fans' memory, because honestly, it was nothing short of a dream. I had to keep pinching myself. I thought it was a dream, and David Moyes provided us with that. But also, the saying is, you can either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain, and unfortunately, he's done that. We got to the point now where the vast majority of the fan base despise him, to be honest with you, and that's not a difficult sentence for me to say. I stood in that away end at Chelsea yesterday, and there was nothing but anger. It was intensifying towards David Moyes, and it's a shame. It is a real big shame, but we've reached its natural conclusion. I'd have had the utmost respect for David Moyes if he departed the club after winning the Conference League last summer. That was a little bit optimistic of me, of course. And this season, listen, the league position hasn't reflected our form. We've been woeful for the vast majority of this season and last season as well. Well, the league position reflected it last season. We finished 14th, for goodness sake. And then Moyes to come out yesterday and blame it on not having Declan Rice when we literally finished 14th with Declan Rice last season. It's just reached its end. It's unfortunate, yeah, but I'm glad the club have come out and ended the hoo-ha, ended all the speculation, which was really classless. And a lot of pundits have actually come out and criticised West Ham for the way they've handled this, because it's quite clear we've been looking for a replacement for David Moyes for at least a month now, and that information has been sent through to us by sources, and we should have had official confirmation a lot earlier. Look, at least now we have the opportunity, if you so please, to at Luton and at Man City to say thank you very much and goodbye to David Moyes, because I had visions of him just leaving it at the end of the season without getting the full official goodbye that he probably deserves. Look, he's going to get that, which is good. I'm glad the club have done that. Can we start saying Lopetegui out already? Not quite yet. Come on, we've got to give the guy a chance. Look, I don't think it's the most glamorous appointment. Sorry, I think it's the cheap option. Yes, we all understand that, but we got to get behind him. He's managed some pretty big clubs in his time, and hopefully he can come good at West Ham. I'm going to judge him on performances on the pitch when we get him in, not preconceived perceptions of him. Moyes 2.0, all the rest of it. We'll judge it when we see him on the touchline as West Ham head coach next season. It's clear that Moyes was told he was out at Christmas, and probably the players told too, could see the performances just die. There has been a really, really evident deterioration of performances and effort since the turn of the calendar year. I make you right, fathead, absolutely. It's just leaked through, hasn't it? And it's really poor in that sense. Look, I don't know when Moyes was told whether he was going, whether it was literally yesterday or today, or whether he's known and he's kept it under wraps for months. I don't think we'll ever know until he comes out and does his TalkSport interview in the summer when West Ham are bottom of the table after 3 games probably. I can just see it happening already. Fathead says Moyes was not on that pitch last night. There were 10 players who were not fit to wear the shirt, and Bowen. Now look, I think Kudus was okay. I'd separate Kudus from the rest of them, if I'm honest. But it was really damning yesterday. The one thing that I identified was Moyes is usually up on a touchline shouting and all the rest of it. There was none of that yesterday. Billy McKinley was the man who stood there on a touchline and hollered orders at the players for the vast majority of the game. Moyes looked resigned to the outcome of it pretty much since the first or second goal went in, unfortunately. And that was damning, and that told me that the end is coming. And now we've got this confirmation. I'm going to go through the club website's official statement with you now. I'm going to zoom it in so you can see it, don't worry. It reads, West Ham can confirm David Moyes will leave the club by mutual consent at the end of the season when his contract expires. David will depart after 4.5 years in charge at London Stadium, during which time he secured 2 top 7 Premier League finishes, run to the UEFA Europa League semi and quarter-finals, and a victory in the last season's Conference League with a 2-1 win over Fiorentina in Prague, securing West Ham's first major trophy since lifting the FA Cup in 1980 and their first European success since 1965. Moyes has commented and said, I've really enjoyed working with everyone at West Ham, and I would like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to manage this great club. Sullivan said, on behalf of everyone at West Ham, I would like to offer our sincere thanks and gratitude to David for the contribution he has made to the football club during his time. David has been responsible for a period of great progress and success in our history, and we are extremely grateful for all of his hard work, commitment, and dedication to the role. David has been an absolute professional to work with, and he will leave with our greatest respect and good wishes. He deserves to be held in the highest esteem for the service he's given to West Ham, and we wish him every success in the future. By making this announcement now, it allows David to get the send-off he deserves from the West Ham supporters, and for us all to show our appreciation to him at our final home fixture of the season against Luton Town on Saturday. And that final paragraph, I think he's actually listened. He's actually listened for once, hasn't he? David Sullivan. He's acknowledged that he deserves a send-off, which he does, and he's been given one. So look, I think that's fair enough. Look, of course, Sullivan's not going to go on the club website and slag him off, is he? But I think that's fair enough in what he said. I think it continues on. I don't know. Let's scroll down. David Moyes has also commented and said, I've enjoyed 4.5 brilliant years at West Ham, and the club is in its strongest position than when I returned. There's a little bit of a dig there, isn't there? When I joined West Ham for a second time, the club was one place by the relegation zone, and it has been a terrific journey to achieve 3 consecutive seasons in Europe. After leading the club to safety, we guided the team to finishes of 6th and 7th. We know all this stuff. This is just Moyes bigging himself up, really. I'd like to thank the players and the supporters and all the rest of it. I've enjoyed working at West Ham. I wish my eventual successor, the directors, the players, the staff, the fans, and everybody at West Ham all the best for the very future. The recruitment process for David's successor has begun. We all know that. The club will make no further comment until a new appointment is confirmed. Well, we pretty much know who the appointment's going to be. If I'm relatively honest, look, of course, I reacted to the news of Julian Lopetegui agreeing a deal with West Ham to become the head coach in the summer. And then, of course, we've had the official confirmation of David Moyes to leave the club in the summer as well. So, look, it seems like it's going to be Lopetegui. I'll be surprised if it's anyone else. Yeah, it's not a definite mark, but it seems nailed on at this point. Agreed on Lopetegui. I was joking. Hopefully means more money for players, and that's what we need. Look, what I can grasp here is Noble and Steiden wanted Amorim. They wanted to go all in for the sporting manager. Sullivan said, no, I don't want to pay the buyout clause for him. So he's chucked Julian Lopetegui in. Steiden and Noble are not happy. So he said, you can control the transfers and he'll be head coach. That's the compromise that has been reached between Noble, Steiden and David Sullivan. I mean, that's what I can grasp from it anyway. The league culture at the club also has to end. That starts with the fans stop paying things like people who were sacked 10 years ago. Let's scroll down here. Arteta must be worried. The greatest manager in the world that can only work with Rice is now available. Exactly. Will he go to Arsenal? Who will be snapping up David Moyes this summer? I'll be incredibly surprised if it's anybody, if I'm honest. Going to be loads in and out in the summer in regards to players. Need to get them in early instead of the last week of the window. Exactly, Peter. Bang on. Hope you well, mate. Absolutely bang on. They've got to get things done early. It's a monumental rebuild on the hands of Julian Lopetegui in the summer. It's massive. Honestly, I could name about 5 or 6 players that I keep. The rest need turfing out, if I'm honest. There could be a really big rebuild here. We could, we probably need, before we start letting go players, we probably need 4 or 5 to come in. If we're going to let go players, which we're inevitably going to because the age of some of our squad, we're probably going to need 9 or 10 to come in this summer. And that's not even being exaggerative, is it? It is what it is. Sharky, hope you well. Will Dawson return? I'd love nothing more. I mean, he's bigged up Lopetegui in the past. They seem to have a good relationship. Bring Craig Dawson back to London City. It's his birthday today as well. Happy birthday, Craig Dawson. I hope he's had a fantastic day. He's come out of the woodwork here in West Ham on official again. There he is. Happy birthday, Craig. I hope you've had a fantastic day. Fathead says, please, I have a ticket for the Luton game. We do need to thank Moyes for the last 4.5 years, the greatest in my life. Hope the fans do give him that. They will. Look, the fans have been extremely critical and rightly served David Moyes over the last 24 months. But I'm glad now that we can give him and we can sit back and go, you know what? You gave us the best night of my life. You gave us the best 3 years of European football that we could have dreamed of. I mean, it was stuff of dreams, wasn't it? Some of those away days, some of the experiences that we've all, went on. And I think we've just got to thank him for that. I've got nothing but respect for the way that he's rebuilt this football club. The decline is another debate and is another sort of scenario to tackle. But if we're talking strictly in terms of what he's done to get us into Europe and the European adventures, I mean, that video of him walking back out 45 minutes after the full-time whistle in Lyon, where he's serenaded by the fans, that video will live long into the memory. And even I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And every time I watch that video, I just get a overwhelming sense of appreciation of what David Moyes has done for this football club. Because some can't look past what he's done in the last 12 months. Some can't look past the negativeness of his football. And look, I get that to an extent, but everybody somewhere in there has got the sort of muster to next Saturday against Luton, clap their hands, put their hands together and nod their head and show their appreciation to David Moyes. You know, no matter how much you've despised him, no matter how much you've hated him over the last couple of seasons in the Premier League, everybody should have the ability to recognise what he's done in terms of the European adventures and all of that, and rebuilding the football club from the dire state that he picked it up in December 2019. That's my opinion anyway. But look, Miss Hammer says can't take away what he brought us, and he's got the players playing for our European victory, but it's time to go. Can't quite believe he can say we're in a strong position right now. Yeah, true. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Adrian says, Sky keeps saying he's left the club in a good state. Well, yeah, we'll see. Sky don't watch West Ham week in, week out. They just look, they're in ninth. They must be in a good position. We're not. If the Premier League was at a decent level and there was some actual decent teams in it this season, we'd be 13th or 14th without a doubt. I mean, this calendar year, we've been 17th in the form table. That just tells you everything you need to know. Moyes will go to Celtic. It's his dream job and will be his last in football. Either that or the Scotland job. Probably that'll be his retirement job. I think. Can we get the average age down under 40? Hopefully, Celtic won't take him. We'll see. We'll see. Hope Bowen doesn't go. Absolutely. Hopefully he can stay. I think he will. Keep the starting 11 and buy additional. Any players outside the 11 can go. A lot of those 11 will end up as the squad, but at least they can pass on the culture and the experience. Curtis, thanks for joining us. George says it has not been confirmed that Lopetegui has the job. We may still get Amorim. Loads of sources and reports are suggesting Lopetegui. It seems all but done at this point. If there's any change to that, I'll be really surprised at this point. Hope Man City win the title before our game, as it could be double figures. I think it will be anyway, to be honest with you. I think it'll be nasty. How do you put Lopetegui into a song? We've got Julian Lopetegui. I don't know the rest, but that's a start. That's a start. Don't say I don't bring anything to this. Our resident Chelsea fan. All right, Simon, don't start. Don't start. The roundup show will be with me and Sean at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to do another 10-15 minutes here. Then go and get a drink. And then Sean is going to join me on another show to do the Premier League roundup, as we do every Monday, dissecting the league's Premier League action, including that battering at Stamford Bridge yesterday. Curtis says, Moyes are like a marriage. Sometimes it doesn't work out for you and you just have to divorce. Fair enough. Right. Simon wasn't there yesterday. Moyes could have Sheffield United. No, I think they'll keep hold of Chrissy Wilder. I think he'll keep him there. But yeah, look, I'll do a better, more composed sort of thank to David Moyes after the end of the season when he does depart the club. But until then, look, we've just got to see out the last couple of games now, and at least we've got official confirmation that he'll leave, which was just that little bit of, ooh, is he still going to stay? Somehow, is he still going to be at the club? But that's been eradicated now. We know he's leaving the club, which is just pure relief for me. Alongside the gratitude that I've got for David Moyes, because as I said earlier, he's given me the best night of my life, and that's something that I'll be forever thankful for in terms of David Moyes. And I hope the majority of the fan base can see that and can acknowledge that next Saturday, where I presume he's going to be brought out to the brought out before the game for an ovation, and after the game when they do their little walk around the ground in the final home game. And then we can go to Man City away. We can hope Man City beat us so they win the league and Arsenal don't. And we can show a bit more appreciation and know that we're not going to be in safe hands. We don't know that. We could flop next season. We could be diabolical next season. But we know that we've got what the majority wanted, and that is David Moyes to leave the club and for a fresh start in the summer. Regardless of whether you think Lopetegui is the right man for the job, I don't think he's the best option out there, if I'm totally honest. But we're stuck with him now by the looks of it. We're going to get behind him. Hopefully Steiden can work with him well, and simultaneously they can bring in the players that are going to improve the club, bring in some players that will bolster the squad depth that Moyes has drained with the sellings of Kehrer and Benrahma and Fornals. I'm going to have to cough. Sorry. But look, at the end of the day, we've got to thank David Moyes. Of course, we've been critical of, I've been very critical with him over the last 2 seasons in the Premier League. And I've been drained, and I was drained yesterday at Stamford Bridge. But at least now we've got the official confirmation. It's sort of given me a little bit of a spring in my step now that we know that he's going to go and we know that it's over. It was time for a change. We all can acknowledge that. But we've also got to thank him for what he's done for the football club, which was nothing short of sensational. As I said, I'll do a more composed and professional send-off to David Moyes at the end of the season. But that's the official confirmation. That's my instant reaction to the news that did come out just 40 minutes ago, that David Moyes will depart West Ham United at the end of the season by mutual consent when his contract expires. We had the breaking news this morning that Julian Lopetegui has agreed terms with West Ham United to become the head coach in the summer. He seems like the replacement. Will he be? I imagine so. I'll be shocked if he's not, if I'm honest. But look, we will see in the summer. Right, some comments. Andrew says we need to get behind Lopetegui if he does become the head coach. Absolutely. Fancy Palace to beat the London team. Man United hope so. That would be funny, wouldn't it? West Ham to beat City in the last game, and David Moyes handing the Premier League title to Arsenal. Get your money on it. Honestly, no. That is something we do not want. Of course, I'll smile if we win, but then it will turn to bitter dismay if we gift Arsenal the Premier League title. Honestly, no. I'd rather we lose, because I can't see them idiots winning the title. It would kill me, to be honest. I'm 100% behind the new man. Hope it works out for sure. Rather had the Palace manager Lopetegui. Absolutely, yeah, I 100% back that. Glasner. If we were a little bit more proactive about it and were able to get to him before Palace did, I'd have taken him. He's a brilliant manager. He gave Moyes a good schooling a couple of weeks ago at Selhurst Park. If he was available, that's one of the men that I'd be targeting this summer. Peter says, I think the board have acted in a disgraceful and disrespectful manner. I used to respect the board for bailing us out. Not now. Look, the way they've handled it hasn't been good. They've left us in limbo for months, which is no good to us. It's no good to David Moyes. It's just disrespectful, if we're totally honest. I'm glad now they've had the decency to announce his departure before the Luton game, because it was just getting out of hand. Because we all knew, apart from him, which is just unfair, which is totally unfair in my opinion. But look, I am going to leave it there. I'll be back in 17 minutes with Sean for the Premier League roundup show, where hopefully he's going to do all the talking, because I'm knackered. That's it from me. Just to reiterate the breaking news, David Moyes is to leave West Ham when his contract expires in the summer by mutual consent. And that's it from me. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much for your service, David Moyes. It's time to go, but we also thank you for your service. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.